Hi, my name is George Graybill, and I'd like to introduce you to an interesting book that I wrote called Stuff, subtitle The Fortunes, Foibles, and Fiascos of Those Who Sought to Understand Matter. I've already introduced this with a short preface in another YouTube video, so you might look for that. Um, Today, what I'd like to do is begin by reading the introduction to the book. I know most people don't even read introductions, and I don't care if you skip it. But if you do read it, at least you'll find it'll tell you whether or not you really want to read this book. Okay, so here we go. Introduction. Two scientists are having lunch, and one says to the other, "Aren't you glad that we finally have proof that matter has mass because of the way that the Higgs boson interacts with leptons and quarks?" How does hearing that sentence make you feel? If you feel that scientists are nerds who speak a different language to sound important and keep their work secret, you should read this book. Sometimes they may get so excited about their work that they forget most people don't know what they're talking about, but it isn't intentional. As you will see, scientists are actually some of the funniest and most interesting people you will ever meet. If you feel that you really want to know more about quarks, leptons, and science in general, you should read this book. No matter how much science you know, you will learn even more, especially about the great scientists of the past. If you feel that science is just too difficult because the concepts are just too complex for non-scientists to grasp, you should read this book. All the words in that scary sentence have simple definitions that you will learn with very little effort. We will begin with the word matter because that is what this book is about. You may have heard that matter has mass and takes up space and is made of things you can't see called atoms. Here is the simple truth. Matter is just stuff. Stuff sounds like slang, but it is a perfectly good word. Feel free to use it. The word actually comes from the German word for matter, Stoff. Since the Germans discovered more stuff about stuff than anyone, we should probably agree to call it whatever they like. Everything is stuff. Even the stuff you don't call stuff like yourself is made of stuff. When you stuff a turkey with stuffing, the stuffing and the turkey are both stuff. The only thing that isn't stuff is energy, which is the ability to make stuff change. Later we will see that matter and energy have a very surprising relationship. This is a picture of a very large ball of stuff. You probably recognize it. Scientists and philosophers have been studying and worrying about matter for thousands of years. Why do they care? Why not give it a rest for a while? The truth is that if we knew exactly what matter is, where it came from, why it changes, and where it is going to end up, we would know pretty much everything. You think that's possible? This is a very good question. Here's a brief history of the study of stuff. 2,000 years ago, philosophers sat around thinking about what matter was. This led to several ideas which were all pretty much philosophical hot air. Then scientists learned how to do proper experiments on matter, and they learned a lot of facts about what it is and how it behaves. This led to still more puzzling questions, which led to more philosophical hot air. This does not mean that all those experiments were a waste of time. They provided a lot of useful information, like how to make hair gel, super balls, Diet Coke. It was also quite a lot of fun. Some of the parts of this book are pure horsepucky. Many of the descriptions of the events surrounding the great discoveries about the nature of matter have been true. If you read this book, you will learn a large chunk of chemistry and physics, which are the sciences that try to understand stuff. Please don't study this book or try to learn any of this science. You have too much homework already. hopefully the stories will be interesting enough to keep you reading, and the science part will just soak in. It will be like eating ice cream that someone has secretly injected with vitamins. Before you read more, look around, look at a nearby piece of stuff and ask yourself, what is this stuff really? There, now you're a scientist. If you'd like to take a look at the book and look inside it a little bit, you can go to its location on Amazon. If you minimize the screen, your view, and scroll down, you'll see a clickable link to the book on Amazon. Thank you. Goodbye.